So last week we talked about why people are afraid of marriage. And my God, what are the feedback we got? Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff as to why people are afraid of marriage. Today we're going to be exploring the beauty and the burden of commitment.
Yes.
Why it is hard,
Mhm.
and at the same time, why it is also powerful.
And beautiful.
You know what I mean? And we're also going to be sharing on how to hold on to covenant even when it seems costly.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to be talking about on today. Welcome back to my Darling Bride podcast, powered by Refuge and Fortress Network. My name is Yemi Emmanuel Ludansi. I go by PY.
And I'm Lonnie O.
On this podcast, we dig, we discover, we deploy biblical gems for the building or rebuilding of kingdom homes and relationships.
Yes, we are on a mission to equip couples on how to build on a rock solid foundation, cultivate a culture of honor and respect, invest intentionally in your relationship or your marriage, defend your union, and lastly, empower one another towards purpose fulfillment.
Absolutely. This is where real love meets real talk.
Yeah.
We always say that this is where love meets legacy. But I like to say this is where real love meets real talk. We've got a good one for you today. Let's get it. All right, so today we're talking about a topic that I believe is actually very powerful and a good segue into why many are afraid of marriage, the concept behind the fear of marriage, right? And we mentioned it last week, that it's usually because of lack of commitment or the fear of commitments, right? So today we want to spend some time talking about what are the pros and pressures, not necessarily cons, pros and pressures of commitment.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah,
I
like that. And it's not cons.
Right.
It's really
it's pressure, really, you know. Some of the pros and pressures of commitment.
Yeah.
And how can we hold on to the covenant? Again, because when you switch your mindset from commitment to covenant, you learn how to hold on to it, even at the costliness of covenant, because it is costly. It is costly, right? So the first thing I want to talk about, though, is was there ever a time where you would say that you were afraid of commitment?
For me, I would say no.
You were never afraid of commitment
No.
when it came to marriage?
No.
Okay.
I guess for me, I've always known what I wanted. I've always been the kind of person where it's like, if I'm in it, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in it, I'm all in. So when it came to relationship and marriage, I never had any fear of commitment because I don't know. I don't want to say it's in my nature or like character.
What's in your nature?
To be committed.
To be committed. Okay.
Right.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just never something I was afraid of. I think it was just a matter of finding the right person to be committed to.
Gotcha.
Really was the thing.
Gotcha.
Because when it comes to commitment, if I can trust you, if I can rely on you, if you're somebody I love deeply, I'm not afraid to commit. So for me, I would say no. There wasn't really, I mean, you could say in early days when I shouldn't be dating. You get what I'm saying? But when it came to time where it was time for me to kind of like be serious in a serious relationship, commitment was never an issue for me. What about you?
No. The thing about commitment, and I was actually going to say this in the beginning of this episode, is commitment is usually a thing that men kind of worry about more than women
issues with
than
women.
And of course there are multiple reasons why we are afraid of commitment. You know, it's the whole concept of in the pool of women that I could be with, why you kind of thing, right? But then there's also beyond that, right? Like, because there's that feel like, how can I be with one person for the rest of my life? There's that thing of, I want to have my cake and eat it too. There's that aspect of commitment.
Yeah.
But then there's the other aspect of commitment in that I am responsible for this
Yes, the
person, the
responsibilities that come
responsibility
with the
that comes with it,
commitments. Yes.
and now, because a lot of times, and I don't want to say men are selfish in that regard. It's not necessarily selfishness, it's just what you have to do as a man
Hmm.
to be a man. You have to kind of just go get it, and for the most part, you're in that bachelor stage
Hmm.
and state of mind for some time where you're just going and getting it.
Yeah.
And that puts you in a position where the only person you have to worry about
Is
is yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
The moment this person comes in the picture,
Yeah.
you not only are responsible for them, you also have to kind of change your lifestyle
Hmm.
to accommodate them.
Yeah.
And you also know that, especially if you're a person who wants to start a family, you know that committing to this person or committing to this thing called marriage or this relationship that could possibly lead to marriage
Yeah.
is beyond just committing to her as your wife.
Yeah.
Is committing to her as the mother of your children,
Hmm.
which also means you have children,
Yeah.
right? And it means you have responsibilities, you have bills and things like that. And as the
So
family grows,
so
you know,
it's like the man, the men feel more of the pressure
pressure.
of the commitment. It's not
Yes.
to say women don't feel the pressure,
Mm-hmm.
because there are responsibilities that
Mm-hmm.
come with that commitment as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Mm-hmm.
similar to the same reasons, but it's almost like that weight, that burden, the men feel it more than
More.
women. And I guess when we talk about some of the pressures of commitments, I mean, I can bring it up at that time. Let's go.
What?
Let's go. Let's start with the pros. Let's talk about the pros of commitments, right?
Like what's good about
Yes.
commitments?
What are some of the pros of
Well,
commitments?
there's a lot of pros of commitment. So when we talk about commitment, we're talking about essentially what we're saying is what are some of the pros of committing to this
To
journey
this, yeah,
with this person?
correct.
And in that, you're committing to them and you're also committing to it.
It's
There is
yes,
the them aspect of things, and then there's the institution, the marriage
exactly.
itself,
Yeah.
that you're also committing to. And with that understanding, one of the pros or the benefit of committing to someone, them and it, right, is the ability to find, for me personally, you're able to find legacy in
Mm,
commitment,
okay.
right? Because I believe legacy to me, this is just me now.
Okay.
I believe legacy is about building something beyond yourself,
Yourself.
right? That is
Yes.
bigger than yourself, and is generational in nature,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that you can leave behind and
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
I've done my part, I've done my best to get it
Yeah.
this far. Now I'm leaving this blessing to you guys so you can
To
take it to a whole new
continue it.
level, right?
Yeah.
And so we want to leave a good legacy for our family, our kids, and things like that. So I believe, and matter of fact, I believe when we started dating, right before we got married, I think I had asked you this question: if you were looking for somebody who was already made, or if you were willing to build
Build.
with someone.
Correct.
And you had mentioned that you want somebody that you can build with and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And that's a legacy language. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's a language that says, I want to build with you.
Yeah.
I want us to grow together and things like that.
Yeah.
So when you are committed,
Mm.
I believe, and if that's your goal, if that's your focus, right, you're able to do it faster, better, further
Mm.
when you're committed.
Committed. Yes.
Because commitment removes distraction.
Distractions.
You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
It removes distraction. It keeps you
Yeah. You're
focused
focused.
on the work at
Yeah.
hand, on the assignments, on the
Absolutely.
mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if building is your goal, if legacy is your goal, it's best to be committed to one person and one thing
Yes.
rather than jumping from one person to another
all over
the place, and you're not able to do anything. Like
Yeah.
even you could take it a step further and talk about divorce, for example. When we are jumping from one spouse to another and to another and to another, it doesn't allow us to leave a good lasting legacy.
Yeah.
And of course, some people will say, "Oh, no, me, not me. I left my husband of this many years. I walked away from that divorce with $1 million. I married this one, walked away from that divorce with $10 million. I walked away from that divorce."
Yeah.
I mean, you just husband hopping because of money. That's not
legacy is not
life.
just
That's not
money.
a way of life.
Yeah.
Let's just be clear on that. Just because
And
you're doing it
yeah.
or because it's become the normalcy in this society
Mhm.
does not mean is the way of life. When
Yeah.
we're talking kingdom, I always like to put that in there. Kingdom. That's why we talk about deep digging, discussing,
Mhm.
deploying
Deploying.
biblical gems,
Yeah.
what the Bible teaches, kingdom way of life,
Yeah.
kingdom homes and relationships. We're not just talking about any kind of home and
Yeah.
relationship, right?
And legacy is more than just financial as
Oh,
well.
of course.
You know, it's what you're passing down to your children.
The
It's
way
not
of
just the
life, the
money,
belief
the
system.
way of life,
Mhm,
the belief, what they
mhm.
see. That's part of the legacy too.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because people don't necessarily think about it in that aspect that commitment does build legacy. You
Mhm.
know, you're focused, you're not distracted, so you're able to get on this goal and build this life together
With somebody,
with
it allows
somebody
you to
that you can
focus.
pass
Mhm,
down. Yeah. And
mhm.
for me, I would say one of the pros for commitment for me, I feel like that it's a big one for me and maybe most women, is commitment. It creates safety.
Mm,
You find security in
mhm,
commitment.
mhm.
You know, you're not in a situation where it's like you're not sure what's gonna happen tomorrow. Are
Mm,
you hot? Are you cold? Are
mhm.
you hot headed today?
You don't know
Tomorrow
where
are
you
you cold?
stand.
I don't know where I
Mhm,
stand with you. You know,
mhm, mhm.
when you're committed to me,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it lets me know that okay, I am secured in this union
Union.
together.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about any distractions in your mind. It's
Mm,
not to say you're perfect, but
mhm,
with the work of the Holy Spirit
mhm,
and truly focusing on that covenant
mhm.
that you've agreed to and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you've decided to partake in, it helps me know okay, that's one aspect of this thing I
That you don't
don't
have to
have to
worry
worry
about.
about.
Exactly.
So it gives me security, gives me safety, it
Especially
lets me know
when you know that he or she is committed to legacy. They're committed to
exactly the
building.
same
They're
goal.
focused.
Exactly.
They're dedicated. You know what I'm saying? They're
Exactly,
not
exactly. So
distracted
there's
all over.
security in that. So
Comes.
I don't have to wake up today and worry about what's going on in your head and
Yeah.
what's happening. Like it never crosses my mind
Mm-hmm.
to the glory of God
Mm-hmm.
because I'm secured in what we have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and that's because you're committed to me.
To
More than
you,
just saying
to the
it.
mission, to the
Exactly.
to the
To this union,
marriage.
to this
Yes.
institution, you're
Mm-hmm.
committed to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it gives me security.
Mm-hmm. And in the spirit of that, I would just say that commitment also, when we're talking about the pros of commitment, it allows you to actually um it allows you to actually love this person
Mm.
in the way that they deserve to be loved.
Strengthen that love.
It strengthens that bond because when you're committed to someone and you're not distracted, you actually get to see them.
Mm.
You know, you're because I remember long time ago when I was still in my bachelor days and I hadn't really like devoted my life to Christ or anything like that, right? I had multiple girlfriends at some point.
Mhm.
And in that, none of them were good enough
Yeah.
for marriage, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Mhm.
at the time. Great women,
Mhm.
nothing wrong with them.
Mhm.
But because my eyes were so divided, I'm like looking
Couldn't
at
see. Yeah.
this. I
Can't
could not
focus.
really see
Mhm.
the good in just one person. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because of that, I couldn't really love like I should.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
love that this
'Cause you're
person
not putting your
deserves.
all
Because I'm
into
not
it.
putting my all into it.
Yes, you're not fully committed.
You understand?
Yeah.
But the moment I got
You
fully
focus.
committed,
Yes.
and I said, you know what? This is the one.
Mhm.
This is who I'm gonna be with. This is who I'm going for. That's it. No questions, no nothing to talk about anymore. I'm gonna zero in on this
Yeah.
person. All of a sudden, their good traits, good characters, good personalities,
Yeah.
everything just begins to
Exactly.
show. And I'm like, wow, there's so much
Exactly.
more to you.
Yeah.
And then because of that, I'm able to love you even
Mhm.
more. The love and care that you deserve, I'm able to give it to you.
Yeah.
Commitment, when we're committed to this thing, when we're committed to this person, it allows us to close our mind to negativity
Yeah.
and focus on the positivity
Yeah.
because we can actually see them.
Yeah.
You know, Jesus was talking about it in the book of Matthew, where he was saying that your eyes needs to be single. He said that's when you have light, when in the singularity of your eyes, light comes, light shines, you know. But when your eyes is divided, it says that person is thrown into darkness, confusion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
There's so many.
Commitment removes confusion.
Exactly.
Let me just put it that way.
That's a good one, because there's so many factors you have to kind of think about and focus on when you think about commitment, because the Bible also says you can't serve two masters. If you have multiple girlfriends, you're trying to please this one and that one and please this one. You're not going to be able to give your all to all of them. You know what I'm saying? But when you're focused on one person, even if you're not giving your all, it's something you're working on, because that is your only focus. So each and every day, you're not perfect, but each and every day you do your very best to be the best person you can be for that person. So it then creates in an atmosphere where you can truly depend on each other, truly love each other, truly trust each other, and that intimacy would strengthen.
It strengthens the marriage, it strengthens the home, it strengthens the love. And I was also going to say, before we even start talking about the pressure, when we are committed, right, when we're committed to one another, what I was going to say was the concept of commitment removing confusion goes beyond just relationship, right? It goes beyond relationship, like us, those who are in the stage of relationship, not necessarily marriage, right?
Okay.
Because you can be married and still not be committed.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You're still looking outside to see if there's something better, someone better. You're looking out the window. You don't have peace yet about this person that you're with. And so it causes you to look out and find other people, happiness in all the wrong places, fulfillment in all the wrong places, because you're not necessarily committed to this person, or to the process of this marriage, right? Because there's a process to it. And so when you're not necessarily fully committed to the process and to the person, you're constantly looking out the window, looking for what's not lost,
and that's where
in
the
all the wrong
distractions
places
come in.
And that's where distraction
That's where the noise comes in. That's where the falling out of the journey and the path comes in, because you're just focused on everything else. Absolutely. So now we dive into the pressures.
The pressure. Oh my God. The pressure of commitment. One of the pressure of commitment is that it's work.
Yes. What I was even gonna say was, okay, let me tie it to that.
Okay.
Right? So I was gonna say something earlier in the video when you were talking about the difference between men and women, right? For some reason, for men, it's kind of harder for them to commit.
Yes.
And what I was gonna say is because commitment requires sacrifice. For women, I don't know how to. It's like what biologically wired to be sacrificial.
And more than men.
More than men. More than men.
No.
Let me say yes. Okay. I'm not saying men are not sacrificial. Let me just say we're more willing. Let me put it that way. We're more willing to sacrifice.
I don't know if I agree.
Than men.
No,
I agree.
I don't know if I agree.
I agree. When we're talking about commitment, right? We're more willing to die to self than men. Do you agree with that? Women are more willing to die to self than men when it comes to commitments. I 100% believe that.
No, it's tough. It's tough. The reason why it's tough is because I understand what you're saying, but I think what you're not saying is that when it comes to the concept of sacrifice, sacrifice looks different for both men and women.
No, but remember, no. This is why I know exactly where you're going. Exactly where you're going. I'm not talking about sacrifices you make as a husband or as a father or as a mother, as a wife. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about sacrifice when it comes to commitment, right?
Yes.
You're talking about between the husband and the wife, between the two individuals that
Who's
are married.
More committed.
The reason why I say women are more wired or more, let me just say more willing to sacrifice. We're more, let me phrase it like this. We're more willing to put our all into it than men. Yes. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because we have this thing in us that once, at least for the most part, I know we're not going to generalize and say everybody, but for the most part, women are more like, how should I say it? When we love hard. Like the minute we're in it. Not to say men are not the same, but it's much harder for you guys to get to that point. It has to be a decision you make to get to that point, because it's in your nature to just want to be wild and just be out there and have a good time. But for women, we're more, and it could be culture, it could be training, it could be upbringing, it could be background, it could just be how society has made it to be that we're wired that way. But we're more like, kind of like tuned. We're more like, to once we're in it, that's it, we're in it. But for men, it requires a decision, it requires work, it requires a choice. So I feel like when it comes to the sacrificial part of commitment, it's much harder for men when it comes to relationship and marriage. But the minute you guys are there, it's on. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying women are just more willing to die to self, because that's what sacrifices in relationship and marriage. When it comes to commitment, you have to think about somebody else other than yourself. Women are more willing to get to that point than men are. So I feel like that's why it is kind of harder for men to be more committed, because of that sacrifice. What am I letting go to be committed to this woman? What am I letting go to be committed to this man? I feel like women get there faster than men because of that reason. So commitment, one of the pressures is commitment requires sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to die to self. You have to be willing to put somebody else before you. You have to be willing to think about somebody else before you. It's not to say you forget yourself and you put yourself to the side. It's just, it's not about you anymore. It's about us. That's what commitment does.
Okay. I'm not gonna rebuttal. No, because you said it. There's a statement where you said that women get there faster than men. Because what you're not saying is, you're not saying that
you don't get there,
have a hard time committing.
No.
Men, are less they're less inclined to commit than women.
No.
What you're just saying is women are more willing. They're willing faster.
We dive in faster. Like once we're all in. For men, it takes a lot of.
It's all got to make sense.
Yeah, y'all got to shed some things first before y'all get there.
Gotcha. And I agree. I think I would agree with that, because when you when you look at the story of Jesus, you will find that women were more inclined to give and sacrifice and let go faster than men.
Yeah.
And even in today, you find many times is the women that are the prayer warriors. You find that the women are the one going to the churches and things like that. I get that. And that's why I was saying that sacrifice looks a little different for both men and women, because the things that we do to sacrifice as a man for our family and everything like that it may look different from. I get you.
It's not to say you don't sacrifice.
I got you.
It's just.
I just had to defend the man for a second, because I couldn't just let
I'm not knocking the man down.
No, I get you.
I'm not knocking you down.
I get you. I get you to the extent that I believe other men get you too. I also get you to the extent that if there are some men who don't get you, I get you enough to be able to explain you to them.
Thank you.
So I get you. You get it. You get me. So the other pressure of covenants too. I mean, commitment.
Commitments.
Commitment can be very hard.
Yes.
And that's what I was actually getting at when I was saying is work.
It's work.
It can feel very heavy. On someone in tough seasons.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to throw in the towel and walk away.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of
But
you.
It's so heavy that you can't just walk away. Yeah. Right? I don't know when we were talking about it. We were talking about something. There was something we were talking about, and my God, I can't remember exactly what we were talking about, but I think it has something to do with somebody who was babysitting. It was a babysitting or something. I don't even know. they were having a hard time with their pet, I believe it was, right? I think they were having a hard time with their dog or something like that. And they were considering in their mind to give the dog away, to just find someone to give it to or something like that, and stuff like that. And the reason was because, you know, they're working from home and this dog is just disturbing them and things like that. And it's like, man, you know what? I got to go find somebody to give this thing to, right? Like, it's disturbing me too much, right? Kind of thing. And we laughed about that because we were like, oh, and this person sees their pet as their child. And then after that, we laughed about it. It was like, but, you know, you kind of see your dog as a child. Why would you just voluntarily just
give it away?
Give it away, right? And it was laughable to us because you can do that with a dog. You can do that with a cat. You can do that with a bird. You can do that with a fish.
Right.
You can do that with an
actual child.
But you can't do that with an actual child.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's laughable is because this person that we're talking about, who treats their pets like a child so bad, is they get upset when everybody wishes their children happy birthday and they care for their children, and they don't have the same affection towards their pets. They don't share the affection that they have towards their pet. And it's like, it's the same thing now.
It's not the same.
Not necessarily.
There's a difference.
There is. Do you know how I know it's not the same? When you can wake up one day and say,
I don't want this.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of it. You know. So,
and you can't even say, well, some parents will be like, they don't want it. That's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not normal behavior.
Move that to the side. We ain't talking about that. But bottom line, what I'm saying is that it's the parental commitment, even in difficult seasons.
Yeah.
Can be heavy.
Can be heavy. Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Being a father, the commitment to those children can be heavy. Being a mother, the commitment to those children can be heavy. Being a spouse, the commitment to your significant other can be heavy.
Yeah.
And there's no room for, I'm done, I'm tired, this thing is just too much for me.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about kingdom relationship. It is part of the heaviness of the commitment that causes people to just say, I am not doing no more. I want a divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing wrong. It's just that
it's just too much.
The requirements of maintaining a healthy and happy home is just too much. And I just can't do it no more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing. It's not, you've been great to me. It's just that to be a good wife, I know the responsibility that it comes with. I know the sacrifice that it comes with.
Yeah.
I know the commitment that it comes with. And I'm just not ready to give it.
Yeah.
To be a great husband, I know that it comes with work. And I thought I could work. And I thought I could do it. But I just can't anymore.
Yeah.
It's been year 2, year 5, year 10. And my God, I can't even believe I lasted this long. And so I'm done. The commitment gets heavy sometimes. And I love that I'm talking about this because as we're painting, as we do, actually us, particularly us on MDB, we paint a very, for the most part, I want to believe that we paint a very beautiful picture of marriage. Mm-hmm. I believe we talk about marriage more in a positive light than in a negative light because we're advocates for marriages, for kingdom homes and marriages. So we want more people in kingdom homes and marriages than not.
Yeah.
But we would be doing our listeners a disservice if we don't talk about the
pain points.
Yeah. You know, the pressures of commitment.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the pressures of it right there.
Yeah.
It's hard. It can be heavy on you.
Yeah.
And if care is not taken, if you don't have the right mentality towards it, if you don't have the right people around you, which we're going to talk about how to hold on to the covenants, even when it's costly. If you don't have a good understanding of that, which we're going to talk about, and we got to talk about it now.
Yeah.
You're going to throw in the towel when you should not.
Exactly. And you got to think about too that even when it's heavy and pressure, just think about it. Once you push through that pressure, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards,
mm-hmm.
You know, the pressure makes you stronger. Yeah. You know, you come out more refined and beautiful. Shining. and the union and the love is
process.
The
pressure is the process.
Exactly.
You know,
so
before we get to
think
the promise.
about that aspect of things. But yeah, let's jump into the how. How do we hold on to covenant even when it's costly? So we can wrap up.
The how is what you just talked about, right?
That's one of them.
I keep getting the message, man. I'm like, who's this person texting me?
That's one of them. One of them is the end result.
The how is what you just said, right? The end result. But it's really about remembering the why behind it, not necessarily the what. Right? Like, I go to work, I work hard, I do the things that I got to do. So do you. You work hard, you do the things that you have to do because you have a strong why.
Yeah.
And when you have a strong why, you're not necessarily thinking about the what, right? Because I would do whatever I gotta do to keep a roof over my family's head, food on the table, clothes on our back, right? I'll do whatever I gotta do, no matter what the case may be. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just that remembering and focusing on the why behind the what that keeps us committed. Why did you get into this marriage in the first place?
Yeah.
Why do you want to marry this person? Why did you enroll yourself in the institution of marriage, knowing what marriage is, what marriage means, hoping that you know, but haven't learned and understood all of that? You still want to go into marriage. You still want to be with this person. You still want to marry this person. You still want to stay married to this person. There's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
What is that reason? If you're doing if you're doing it for the wrong reason, my friend,
forget about it.
If you're doing it because it's what we're supposed to do,
or because
if you're doing it because of what everybody is doing,
wants to see.
if you're doing it, oh God, you know. But when you have a strong why, it keeps you going.
Yeah,
it keeps you committed. When you have a strong end goal, a strong vision, a strong promise that you're holding on to, you keep pushing.
Yeah,
you keep beholding. You keep pushing until you get to your promised land, until you become.
And another one I would say on how to is understanding that a decision, a choice being made is okay, right? Meaning pre-decided love is okay. Meaning I made the choice that I'm staying. It's not emotional, because you got to think about it too. Covenant is not emotion. It's not based on emotion.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Yeah. It's
based on a decision.
Yeah.
I have decided I'm going to follow Jesus. That is not based on how I'm feeling today or tomorrow or when I wake up the next day. It is a decision that through the storm, that through the highs and the lows, through the roller coaster, through everything, I have decided that I will keep marching forward, holding on to Jesus, holding on to God. That's the same thing when it comes to love and marriage. It is a decision you make. I have decided that through health, through riches and wealth and everything good, always good, I'm going to say I do.
Amen.
I'm going to say in this. I've decided, I made that choice a long time ago.
Yep.
And I'm still making that choice every single day. So because I have this pre-decided decision and love, that's what holds you. That's what keeps you. That's the reminder of the why. And not what's going on right now.
Yes, exactly.
It's focused on the why. It is a choice you make. You have to understand. That's how you hold on to it. I have made this choice. Jesus' love for us is not based on emotion. It was a choice that was made. Yep. It was an eternal choice. So it has to be a decision. It has to be a choice that you make.
And remember, we're talking about, we've talked about I like how we structure this discussion, because I really want people to walk away with something meaningful and powerful that will be applicable to their lives and things like that. So we've talked about the pros of commitment, like why commitment is good.
Why it's good.
We've also been realistic enough to say why it is hard.
Yeah,
right?
The pressures.
It's the pressure of it, right? And now we're talking about, how do we hold on to it? How do we hold on? How do we stay committed?
Have the pressure,
right? Because again, remember, like you mentioned just now, it's covenant, right? And once you've entered that covenant, it doesn't mean it's all rosy and dandy. There are difficult days with the covenants, right?
Yeah.
But we're still showing up. We still do what we got to do. What we're talking about is, how do you hold on to your covenant even when it feels costly?
Yes.
Right?
How do you hold on to that beauty when the burden is there?
You got it. Exactly. Right? So we've talked about, one of the ways you do that is remembering your why.
Your why.
What is the why behind why I started this journey in the
Focus
first
on the
place.
why and not
Why
the
did
what.
I get into this marriage? Why did I get into marriage with this person?
Mhm.
Out amongst millions of people on
Yeah.
earth, I chose you.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't have to be married, but I chose to be married.
Yeah.
Why? Right? You've got to hold on to your strong why. And that's many times you see that really sustains a lot of homes and
Mhm.
marriages, right? If we get our priorities right, yeah, the rest is easy, right?
Yeah.
And then we talked about, just
Choice.
making a pre-decision,
Pre-decided. Yes.
there's a way to say it in Yoruba. Oti pinnu nínú ọkàn ẹ. You've made up
You've
your
made up your
mind.
mind
Like
on it.
your mind is settled on it. You
Done.
it's done.
Donezo.
You know what I'm saying? So you've pre-decided in your heart and in your
Yeah.
mind that this is
Is it.
and this is what I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is it.
Because
You
the
know?
reason why that's important,
Mm.
sorry, before we close,
Mhm.
the reason why that's important is once you've made up your mind about something,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And you've decided that this is the path you want to go,
Mhm.
you would do anything
and everything. Yes.
to make sure it works.
It works. Exactly.
You would do everything
Exactly.
to make sure it works.
The next point that I want to say, and we're going to close in a little bit here because we're pushing it,
Close on this one.
is in talking about how we hold on to this covenant, right? We've got to remember, I don't know if it was last week or last month, or I don't remember when it was, that we talked about the cord of 3 strands cannot
talk about it
easily
a lot.
be broken.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that cord is the Holy Spirit. My point is, we've got to learn how to keep the third person involved.
Yes. Keep. Yes.
Him involved in everything we do. Jesus has to be the center of it all.
Yeah.
I love that song, E-Band. It says, at the center of it all, it's you that I see. Right? It's you that I see. Right? At the center of it all, your home, everything.
Yes.
Jesus got to be in the middle.
Yep.
The storm only stopped when it realized that Jesus was on the boat. It didn't know. Perhaps it forgot. Jesus was sleeping now. So he thought Jesus was on break or something.
Yeah, because the people on the boat were acting like Jesus wasn't there either.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So they all forgot.
They all forgot.
It was until Jesus woke up and spoke to the storm and the wind and said, peace be still.
Exactly.
That's when it got quiet.
Yeah.
Hey, if Jesus was not on that boat, oh my God.
Come on.
So that's the question I got for you. Is Jesus on your boat? That's a question that I want you to ponder on today. Is Jesus on my boat?
Yeah.
Because if Jesus is on your boat, that thing that looks so hard and difficult and costly will look like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because Jesus is actually the one doing the work.
Don't leave him on the altar.
Is the one paying the Hey, say that again.
Don't leave him on the. Some people they leave him on the altar.
Say it again.
As soon as they say I do.
No. Say it again.
Don't leave Jesus on the altar.
Say one more time for the ones in the back.
Do not leave Jesus on the altar.
And then for those who are outside.
Do not leave Jesus on the altar.
Say for the online folks.
Do not leave Jesus on the altar.
Don't leave Jesus on the altar. Take him with you.
Take him with you.
Every day, all day.
It doesn't stop.
In the midst of your marriage, in the midst of your home, in the center of your boat.
Yes.
Make sure he is the driver.
Yes.
He is the passenger.
He's the beginning, the
middle,
the
end, and everything in between. Is the Alpha and Omega and every other alphabet. Is all in all.
Yes.
When you involve God, you involve Jesus, you keep him alive and active in your home.
Absolutely.
Covenant is sustained.
Yep.
Marriage is beautiful and everything like that. Commitment is easy, and we can focus on the blessings and the benefits over the burden. Sweet. You know what I mean? It's really the differentiator in the kingdom between those who have a beautiful, sustainable home and those who don't? Jesus. I'm telling you, Jesus. And that's not a cliche. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Cliche.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Jesus makes all the difference.
Yes.
Again, one of the other things we always say, marriage is a spiritual thing. Marriage is a covenant.
Yes.
It's a spiritual covenant, orchestrated, started, initiated by God.
Yes.
And the only way it can be sustained is
by
God himself.
Yes.
It took God himself to come and die for sin so that he himself,
so we can have eternal life.
You understand?
God himself.
Nobody else could do it.
Nobody.
But God himself.
Yes.
He was both the priest and the lamb.
Yes.
He is the sacrifice and the one asking for the sacrifice.
Yes.
He started it and sustained it himself.
I finished it. Is that
You get me? So
you get me.
So
that's it.
That's it. We can close. All right.
Jesus
at the center of it all. All right. I hope we've shared a tip or two to help solidify your kingdom union, not just with the person of self, but also with others.
Yes.
And most importantly, with God on today.
Don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, share with your friends and family, and comment down below.
And until next time, be the light.
Be the salt.
And remember, all things are possible if you believe.